I don't care how good looking you are. If you lack discipline, then you're straight up ugly. I'm sorry to break it to you. Even if you look like Zayn Malik, girls are gonna be mad turned off by you if you lack discipline. It's that simple. And I'm talking to the men that wanna be above average and attract beautiful women. If you're average or below average and you don't want to get better, then just click off this video because it's not for you. Okay, for the men that actually stuck through, discipline is respect. Respect for how you take care of yourself financially, emotionally, physically, and mentally. If you don't respect any of these aspects I just named, then there is no discipline to be found within you. And when I say lack of discipline, I'm talking about a lack of discipline towards 3 categories. A lack of emotional discipline, a lack of discipline towards your health and fitness, and a lack of discipline towards your career and purpose. The first thing I wanted to talk about was a lack of emotional discipline because I think is one of the most important things that most men overlook. If you lack emotional discipline, then I'm sorry, bro, you're just a fucking loser. The most attractive thing about a man is how he controls himself. The more that you can emotionally control yourself, the more women want you because it's that much harder for them to get you. Think about it like this. If you stumble upon any girl and she got you to like her right away or very easily, she's gonna be so turned off by that because that means you are easily influenced emotionally from any other woman. Who says another girl is not gonna come by and make you like her? It's not an attractive thing for a man to not have control over his emotion, and that's just a simple example. So you have to prove to them that you're more emotionally disciplined than they are, otherwise you can kiss them goodbye. Except you're not gonna get a kiss, all you're gonna get is pain and regret. Okay, here's another thing. Anytime a man is willing to fight over some stupid shit, man, some dumb shit like an argument or losing face, then realize that guy has ego problems. And that is so unattractive. You often see this a lot in sports. If you're a guy and you play sports, you probably see this all the time. Guys are willing to fist fight over the stupidest shit talking. You know, they get in each other's head, their egos speak for them, and they just let it go on like in basketball, soccer, whatever it is. And you just realize it's the dumbest shit you're arguing about. And it's not worth fighting over at all. Like, bro, I'm not gonna lie to you, I used to be that guy. I used to pick up fights almost every soccer game because I would beef with other people. I thought it was part of the game. But now, honestly, I couldn't give 2 shits about fighting. I honestly couldn't care. And you know what's funny? After I've been doing boxing for 2 years now, I learned I want to avoid fighting as much as I possibly can because in the martial arts of boxing or any other fighting martial arts, they teach you the discipline of being humble, humility, and actually avoiding damage and fighting as much as possible because you now have a responsibility to not use what you just learned on people that you know you can hurt. So if you know you're capable of doing damage, the last thing you want to do because you're a good person is hurt others. And when you walk around knowing how to fight, you walk around with this self-confidence, this true confidence in protecting yourself, the people around you, and your values. And there's nothing more attractive than a man that knows how to protect himself. Lack of emotional discipline also shows when you get upset or easily emotional over like little things. So don't get me wrong, I'm actually naturally a very emotional person, but that doesn't give me an excuse to act unrational because I now have a responsibility to train myself to think more rationally than emotionally, especially as a man. Which is why I personally got into a philosophy like Stoicism because it gave me the framework of thinking to go about life so I can thrive. And you often get really attached to Stoic characters in movies and TV shows like James Bond, Thomas Shelby, Batman, Guts from Berserk for those anime fans. We love these characters because they're an extreme example of how Stoic men should conduct themselves. They hold themselves to such a high level of emotional discipline to do the right thing, to say the right thing, and plan the right thing all the time, which is required for everyone's survival in the plot. Okay, I've been telling you about all the things that cause a lack of emotional discipline. Now, what actually helps you control this? I can sit here and talk for hours about this, but I'm just gonna choose this one thing because I think it's very powerful that you can take from this video, and that is to tackle trauma. Psychological trauma, because whatever you didn't heal in the past will come back and bite you in so many different ways, and you'll see it with all these different situations that come up in your life. Let's say an ex left you because they didn't want you anymore. If you never took time to heal and forgive them, every single bad thing that happens in your life, you will link back to that scenario. Let's say you got into a car accident. You're gonna say, F my ex, if she hadn't left me, I would have been in a better financial position to pay for this. If you get overweight, you're gonna be like, oh, it's all my ex's fault. She made me feel so insecure. Now I don't have the confidence, to take care of myself. If you don't go back and heal whatever happened in your past, it will continue to haunt your future. So this is the one thing I'm gonna give you in this video. One thing to tackle a lack of emotional discipline: heal your past traumas. Go deep within your psyche, journal about it, self-reflect on it. Really think about what is traumatic in your life that you haven't healed yet. And it's gonna suck, bro. It's gonna fucking suck. But it's going through that suck that will help you get into a better place, and you will be much more emotionally disciplined that way. Listen, it might not be your fault that your ex left you, but it's your responsibility to pick yourself back up. It might not be your fault that you had bad parents, but it is now your responsibility to raise yourself. Even if you're dealt every bad card that life can give you, it is your responsibility to take ownership of your life and demand change. The sooner that you understand where you are in life right now is due to your actions, your choices, and your lack of discipline, the sooner you will get better. The second thing I wanted to talk to you about was health and fitness. The physical body says a lot about a person. It shows how dedicated you are to maintaining your physique. It shows the hard-earned work ethic that you put towards achieving that body. It shows people how disciplined you are when it comes to sleeping, waking up early, eating healthy most of the time, counting your macros. Whatever it is, your physique is a representation of how hardworking you are. And the most important thing, it shows how much you are able to endure suffering and pain. And on top of that, you have a beautiful aesthetic body that you can feel proud in, which makes you look more attractive. And you know what's crazy? You can literally be successful in every single aspect of your life, but if you're not healthy, it literally doesn't mean shit. I remember my family telling me, oh, look at this guy that our cousin married. He's a doctor, he has high status, he's so successful. And I would say, so what? He's also obese. What's the point of having all these things that make you look successful if you're not even healthy in the first place? Do you see how me as a man lacks respect for this guy even though he has high status, even though he's a doctor? I would rather listen to someone who looks the part because they had to actually apply the principles of success to look that way. So you're not only unattractive to women at this point, you're also unattractive to other guys, and men won't respect you because you just straight up don't respect your own body to take care of it. Men respect other men that are willing to suffer. When I see someone with a nice body, I automatically have more respect for them. I'd rather surround myself with them because I know how much dedication it took for that guy to get that body. And honestly, it gives you way more credibility than others. I'd rather listen to someone with a nice physique for health advice than a doctor who's obese. And don't get me wrong, I know there's many fat multi-millionaires out there like Elon Musk who's built like Eggman. But even then, I would argue if he was healthy, he would have more time to work on the main thing and perform better with better health. So even then, he doesn't have an excuse. And the last thing I will say about health and fitness, I don't care if your genetics are shit. Because bro, I used to be extra fat. I had love handles bigger than anything you can imagine, and I had a belly that you can't even, bro, if you just saw my thumbnail, you would know how fat I was. I was so disgusting. But this is how I look at it. One person is given $10,000 and you have to earn that $10,000. Both of you get the $10,000, but the person who had to work hard for it reaps far more benefits than the person who was given it. So look at your bad genetics like that instead of crying about it. The last thing I wanted to talk about was a lack of discipline towards your purpose or your career. The most attractive thing about a man is someone who stops at nothing but achieving his goal. Women love ambitious guys who prioritize their purpose. If you're a guy and you'd rather spend time with your woman than on your purpose or mission, then goddamn bro, you're about to get ugly real quick. Do you want to make a girl's knees buckle? Tell her you don't want her until you fulfilled your mission. There's something very attractive about men that pursue their goals. And I remember on my first date with my girl, I told her I wanted to be a general manager of a hotel in like 10 to 12 years. And that made her so attractive to me because it shows how much you're willing to do to achieve greatness. But the real thing that attracts them is actually walking the walk and not talking the talk. And you do that by prioritizing what's important to you 80 to 90% of the time in your life. I've said this many times in my past videos, but I like to quote David Dita from The Way of the Superior Man. And he says, your purpose comes before any relationship in the world. So your achievements are in a way a reflection of your character and what you're willing to do in order to get there. As superficial as this sounds, a man's achievements and status are also part of his identity. When women gather around to talk about a date they just had with a guy, you know what the first thing they say? They say, oh, what does he do? Oh, what does he do for a living? Oh, what's his career? It's so shallow, but your achievements play a huge role in your overall attractiveness. And a woman won't tell you this, but that is the first thing they talk about when they go on a date with someone. Okay, listen, if you don't like to look at it like this, then here's another perspective for you. Chasing excellence makes you look attractive. It doesn't matter what you do, if you chase excellence in any field you pursue, success will chase you. But what comes with chasing excellence? Discipline. Simple, plain, old discipline. It takes waking up earlier and going to bed later on some days. It takes you working extra harder than everyone else to get ahead of your competition. It takes saying no to most things so you can say yes to the things that actually matter to you. It takes showing up even when you don't want to, even when you're tired. To practice that skill over and over again until you master it. It takes seeking discomfort, and it's a constant battle every single day against pleasure. It takes respecting your time, putting up boundaries, and elevating yourself to the next level. Discipline is virtue, and virtue is self-discipline. Understand that the power of self-control is what makes you desirable even among the gods themselves, for discipline is what frees us from the ugliness of mediocrity. Thank you, until next time.